Hello everyone, welcome to my course Data Structures and Algorithm in C for Beginners. I am Sujit Kumar and I will be your instructor for the course. Let's move on. So the objectives of the course are these. Basically, this course is designed to make people understand the behavior of both linear and non-linear data structures and to make them implement using C programming. Okay, so we're gonna study all the data structures and we'll be implementing them using C programming. Okay, and this course will help beginners to be more confident about data structures and algorithm. Okay, because some people would actually think that this subject is pretty tough. Okay, it's somewhat harder compared to some other domain. Okay, but it's actually not. It's the way that we look this subject. Okay, so this course will definitely help beginners to be more confident about this particular domain, right? And to make people picturize the significant algorithms, right? So there are many algorithms like insertion sort, bubble sort, which we will be discussing in this course, and all the beginners will be able to picturize those algorithms and understand the workflow of such algorithms, so that they can implement those algorithms whenever they wanted to solve a particular problem, right? And yes, to solve problems related to time complexities. Okay, and it is something important to know about this stuff, time complexity, because that is something which is asked in almost every tech interview. So we'll be seeing how to find the time complexity of an algorithm. I have a separate, I think, 1.5 hour lecture to explain about this particular term, analysis of algorithms, time complexities. Okay, let's move on. Why data structures? Of course, this is the question. Why should I take this course? Data structure is the need of the hour, guys, of the tech world. Okay, and data structures are actually used to, uh, you know, store the data in a particular fashion, in a random fashion, and use them efficiently. Okay, only if you store the data using those data structures, you can use the data efficiently, and that is what the need of R. Okay, you have to use the data efficiently, right? So that's the main point that I want to insist here. Another one is you can solve any problem. You can solve any real world problem if you want. If you desire to solve that problem using programming, then you are in need of data structures. Okay, it makes your problem way more simpler to solve, right? And yeah, the point I want to insist, the many tech interviews involve questions from data structures and algorithms, and I assure that this course will definitely help you to answer those questions. Okay, okay. So this course will provide all the fundamentals that you need to familiarize yourself with the basic data structures like linked list, stack, queue, and so on, right? And a basic knowledge is C programming is preferred, guys, for this course. Okay, because we're going to implement those data structures in C programming. So a basic knowledge in C programming is preferred. A knowledge up to loops, arrays would be uh, better. Okay, but it is not compulsory. All right. Course outcomes. These are the major outcomes of this course. Okay, so you'll be able to use the data structures to solve a problem if you complete this course, and you'll be able to explain all the operations of data structures. Okay, and in this course, we are covering almost all the operations of data, basic data structures. Okay, to analyze any algorithm and measure its efficiency. Yeah, that's another key fact. Okay, I mean the key point of this course. Okay, you have to analyze the algorithm and you have to measure its efficiency in terms of time and space. Okay, yeah, competitive programming is one of the uh, rising fields. So you can apply data structures in that particular domain, competitive programming. Okay, and you can attend ESA interviews with better confidence and skills. Okay, this 10-hour course will provide you definitely help you to improve your knowledge. And if you are a very beginner, and then this course will be a cup of tea. Okay, I think that's all from my side, and I'll see you there in my course. Okay, I'm glad that you have enrolled in this course. Thanks a lot.